Welcome into Fantasy Filmball. My name is Dylan. As you can see from today's title, we're talking all about the brand new horror film Smile 2. And I have to say, originally, this was going to be a short because we are an Oscars channel, and Smile 2 doesn't really have many Oscar prospects. But when I saw this film last night, I have to say, it just blew me away, and I'm enthralled. And I just want to talk about this film, so why don't we have a little discussion here? Spoiler free, of course, because I don't want to spoil this film. You got to go out and see it. But let me tell you why I think Smile 2 is the horror event of 2024 right now. About to embark on a new world tour, global pop sensation Sky Riley, who's played by Naomi Scott, begins experiencing increasingly terrifying and inexplicable events. Overwhelmed by the escalating horrors and pressures of fame, Sky is forced to face her dark past to regain control of her life before it spirals out of control. And like I said at the top of this video, I think that Smile 2 is undoubtedly the horror event of the year. This sequel not only builds on the foundation laid by its predecessor, but I feel like it also takes this franchise to thrilling new heights. From the moment that this film kicks off, it just grips you by being this visually captivating experience and having bold, creative, fun camera work. While the first film was certainly an enjoyable experience, I think this sequel cranks everything up to a brand new level. This screenplay weaves a thrilling and thought-provoking narrative that keeps you engaged throughout, and it's not just a horror movie. I feel like it invites the viewers to reflect on the nature of what trauma can be, what the struggles that often leak beneath the surface are, and how those really affect one's psyche. And as I said before, the visual language in this film is nothing short of a feast for the eyes. The cinematography features multiple mesmerizing one-shot sequences that just pull you into the action and are just so dynamic. You feel like you're there with these characters throughout this scary, bloody good time. And these stunning visuals create a sense of immersion that keeps you on the edge of your seat. And there are moments where I found myself biting my nails, covering my face in suspense because I was just so engrossed into the drama, into the horror that's on screen in front of us. And there are so many haunting images that are expertly crafted. And I feel like even more so in the first one, there's going to be gifts. There's going to be photos online that are just going to become iconic for being like, I was there in the cinema, I saw that, I was so scared during that moment, and they're just ingrained and they will linger in my mind for the weeks to come. But one more massive element that's just amazing inside Smile 2 is the heart of this film, Naomi Scott, who delivers a truly commanding performance. And I genuinely believe that this performance should rank amongst the most iconic ones in modern day horror. Her ability to sing, she dances, she screams, she cries, she does it all while navigating the complex emotions of her character, a pop star, grappling with her own trauma while battling a parasitic entity that wants to eat away at her psyche. It's just so good, it's just so great. And I think it shows her incredible range as an actress. She fully immerses herself into this role, commanding the screen with this energy that's just so captivating and also unsettling on the other side of the die. She also has moments of humor that really just clicked for me, and it's unfortunate that we have such genre bias when it comes to awards season, because just like Toni Collette, just like Lupita Nyong'o, we should be talking about Naomi Scott for awards. Whether it's for the Oscars, the Globes, critic stuff, she should be in the conversation. She's such a force inside this film, but horror films, they don't really get that type of love, and that kind of sucks. And you know what doesn't suck? Smile 2, because it exemplifies everything that a sequel should be, everything a horror movie should be, and what a cinematic experience should strive to be. This film, it's such a wild ride. It blends horror with these moments of dark humor. It's chaotic, it's emotional, and I think it will leave a lasting impact on viewers far and wide. I actually can't believe how much I loved it. I saw it with my girlfriend, and we were talking about it after the film, and she's like, I can't believe how much you like this movie, and I really do. I'm so high on it. It's one of my 5 favorites of the year so far, and I'm already eager to book another ticket to go watch it again. And I think if you're a fan of this genre, or you just appreciate artistic horror or captivating experience, this is a film that you definitely won't want to miss. So those were my general thoughts on Smile 2. So now why don't we dive a little bit deeper into some of my positives of this film. And the first one has to be Naomi Scott. I said before, she's a tour de force inside this film, and this is definitely a performance, and this is definitely a film that the weight, the complexity of the movie all relies on the lead performance. If you're not buying it, if she's not selling it, the film is not going to work. And Naomi Scott is pulling off so many things inside of this film. As I said before, she has to sell some comedic scenes. She has to sell the lunacy of this character. She has to sell the emotional turmoil, and also she has to sell this character as kind of a dick at times. And I feel like she is just nailing it, and it really worked. It really connected with me. And one thing I really enjoy about this performance, and part of it comes from the direction as well, this camera, the placements of it oftentimes are in very close-ups. Her face is filling this screen, and you have to read her body mannerisms. You have to read the little like flinches in her face, and she's just doing it so well. And another reason why it works so well is the direction. Parker Finn wasn't familiar with your game. You knock it out here. You have such a cinematic eye for style. I mentioned before, there's one takes. This film opens up in like a 5-6 minutes wonder, and it's so captivating. It puts you into this world right away. You're hooked. You're on board for the ride, and this ride does get very wild. That's another thing I really enjoy about this film overall, is it has a really good pace for a film that's almost 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something. It keeps going and going and going, and you never feel the slog inside this film. And I feel like it perfectly mixes, as I said before, this gross, bloody horror, as well as having some great moments of comedy and the jump scares and just the scary atmosphere overall. Just really worked for me. And another little small thing here, it's a movie about a pop star. Just kind of like Trap earlier in the year, even more so than Trap earlier in the year. The music hits, it slaps. I would love to see the song in the trailer get some sort of an Academy push, but as I said before, this is not an Academy film overall, and there are some issues. This is not a perfect film. I know I'm hyping it up a lot, and the big thing would be something my girlfriend said, as well as maybe I feel a little bit as well. It maybe is a little bit too predictable, and it introduces stuff and immediately like, oh, that's going to be an important thing, or oh, that's something, or oh, that's something. And while for me, I was so engaged, I was locked in, it wasn't an issue for me. For other people, they may be a little let down, be like, that was so predictable. I want to be taking on all these twists and turns. And another thing that is more of an issue for me that I feel like some other people may be fine with is I would have liked to see the brutality of some of these kills, the brutality of some of this violence a little bit more on screen. Sometimes they kind of cut away as the act's happening, and then they cut back to show these amazing prosthetics and these practical effects. I just wish some of them may have been on camera so we could have really felt the weight of the horror and the weight of the grimness just a little bit more. But overall, I really, 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 really like Smile 2, and I think it is a great film overall. I'm giving this one a solid 9 out of 10. It's one I can see myself rewatching year after year. It's going to be added to my new collection of favorite horror films. It seems like every year there's always one horror movie that just captivates me, and it seems like that award for 2024 is going to Smile 2. But as I said at the top of this episode, we are an Oscars channel, so let's talk about that a little bit, because obviously the Academy, it does not care about horror. In a just world, as I said before, Naomi Scott should be in the ranks of like Toni Collette, Lupita Nyong'o, getting this giant critic push, but it's never going to happen because Nyong'o was in a Jordan Peele movie, critic bait. Then Toni Collette was in the critic's favorite movie of that year, Hereditary. Smile 2, it's not going to be either of those, and Naomi Scott is not the level of notoriety of an actress as Toni Collette or Lupita Nyong'o, even though I wish that she could get some sort of love here. She's definitely going on my year-end ballot. But flipping things away from awards, going over into box office a little bit, it seems like the early tracking on this film seems to be a little bit lower, which is kind of weird because the first Smile film was such a hit. It had viral marketing, it had insane word of mouth at the box office, and it just kept making money week after week, and it just seems like the viral marketing for Smile 2 hasn't clicked in yet. Maybe they were a little too late to the ball, maybe people already got the gimmick with the first one and it's just not working with them this time around. But like, the screening for the press screening last night was pretty empty. It was like 3/4 of the way filled. Normally those are all completely packed and they have to turn people away, and here, like, there were empty seats. There was empty seats right next to us, and I don't know, I feel like this film, I love this film obviously, so I think it will have amazing word of mouth. It'll have great legs, but like, the early numbers just aren't really showing that. So I know we don't have many subscribers, but if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. And if you like horror films, I would say give Smile 2 a chance. We're not going to make a dent in the box office, but it would be nice to know that other people out there enjoy this movie too. But that's about all I had here. As I said, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, a like helps this channel grow to show to other people. The subscription keeps you up to date with all the awards content we have here on the channel. Matt and I, we will have post-festival predictions coming up here soon. I go off to the Philadelphia Film Festival and the Virginia Film Festival these next 2 weeks, so I'm seeing a lot of big films, so you definitely don't want to miss my thoughts there. But until next time, my name is Dyl, and this has been Fantasy Filmball.